Baritonul Alex Esposito s-a născut în Bergamo, Italia, 1975. Este cunoscut mai ales pentru rolul Leporello din Don Giovanni, lucrare ce aparține lui Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. De-a lungul carierei sale a colaborat cu unii dintre cei mai importanți dirijori de orchestră din lume, Claudio Abbado, Daniele Gatti, Fabio Biondi, și este un invitat obișnuit pe cele mai prestigioase scene. Alex Esposito este considerat unul dintre cele mai interesante talente ale generației sale, iar un amănunt ciudat din viața sa ar fi că nu a studiat la școli de muzică, ci doar în particular.
Leporello is a very important role. You just sang it. What do you think about this role?
I did this role many times in the most important houses of the world and even with the most important conductors. I feel like my best friends in a way, because I interpreted him in a lot of different interpretation, crazy, more traditional, and I think it's a role full of heart, full of love. It's the most loved from the people, because people can see themselves in Leporello. He wants to be what he cannot be, so it's cute in a way, and people likes it. And you can find a lot of way to interpret it, as all the character of Mozart, I have to say. But Leporello, I think, is the most cute.
How do you feel this audience from tonight?
It's amazing. They loved it so much, and they were really hearing and watching us. And it was very beautiful, because usually in the houses, opera houses, the public is very far away, because you have the orchestra between you and the public. But here, the orchestra was behind us, and we had direct contact with the public, and you can see, you could see in their eyes that they loved us so much.
That you connected with it.
Yes, absolutely.
And the concert hall?
It's beautiful. It's amazing. I have never been in Bucharest, but everybody told me that it's so beautiful. You will love it, and the concert hall is beautiful, and that's true. I didn't see so much because we came yesterday evening in the darkness, and today we had a little rehearsal. But what I can see, that is very beautiful.
Catalogo è questo delle belle che amò il padron mio, un catalogo gli è che ho fatt'io. Osservate, leggete con me, osservate, leggete con me. In Italia 640, in Lamagna 231, Scende in Francia in Turchia lontana, ma in Spagna son già 1003.
You are very known by the roles from the Rossinis. I would like to ask you, where do you feel more comfortable? In Mozart roles, in Rossini's roles, in bad roles, in good roles?
Every character, as every music or repertoire, has something easy, something not easy. What is not easy, but what challenges you in Mozart is the recitativo. Recitativo can be very boring, because in fact it's not music, it's drama. And so you have to give to the words every meaning, every colors. And that's important in Mozart. The music is rich of colors. And you have to follow the beauty and the meaning that was already written in the music. What is difficult in Rossini, more than interpretation, of course, every repertoire has to be interpreted, because we have to remember that opera is not only music. It's music, drama, theater, acting, costume. Is considered the most important form, shape of art, no? Because they have everything inside. What was very difficult of Rossini is the singing. Rossini, I never understood if he knew very well the human voice or he didn't know it, because Rossini always tried to use the voice and to stretch more as possible. He says in his music, now I make you doing everything is possible and maybe more of your voice. So, and even when you sing Rossini, you have to be very concentrated and to be very precise in where you put your instruments in every note, because if you make only a mistake in one note, Rossini has several notes in a short time, you make a domino effect and you will not finish the performance.
You performed so well, so nice in this evening. I think Leporello fits you very well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Can you separate from your roles when you go down?
Of course I have to. But in a way I try to bring something of myself from my life on the stage. I never try to keep some roles from the stage to my life. It's very dangerous. It's very dangerous because, of course, when you are on the stage, you have to feel all the situation really amplified, no? Because it's drama, it's theater, so everything is bigger, no? Everything feeling is bigger. Someone on the stage, because they don't receive a kiss, they can kill themselves. But this looks like a funny story, but it's not, because sometimes we try to bring something from the stage to the life, but life is not stage, and so we live in a situation that is not real. In the opposite side, when you try to bring something from your life or from your character, from your soul on the stage, it happens something very beautiful, something like a miracle, because people can feel it, the audience can feel it, and they are suddenly touched by him.
During your career, you collaborate with the greatest conductors, many stage directors. How is it for you to be so courted?
I always try in my life to be very humble, but not with people, but what I'm going to do, for example. When I see music and I touch scores, it's like Bible, it's like a holy book, because so I think that in Italy we have a way to say we are everybody in the same boat, and so it's beautiful to work with people and to feel surrounded when everybody wants to swim in the same direction.
Is it a role, a character that you want to play and you haven't done that before?
Yes, it's Philip II in Don Carlo. Don Carlo was, for me, the opera of the operas. It's the most beautiful. It fascinated me so much since I was a child, and I listened a lot of different recording from the past, and I saw this opera in Milano, in Verona, in a lot of houses, and it's my favorite role.
And there is a stage you haven't conquered by now?
Yes. It is the Metropolitan Opera, but I will be there in 2 or 3 years for true production.
E via buffone, non mi seccare, non padrone, non sole non vorrei star. Senti mio amico, buon perdico, ma che ti ho fatto che vuoi lasciarmi? No, niente ho fatto, quasi ammazzarmi. Ma che sei matto, matto, per burlarmi. E ti appuffone, senti mio amico, ma che sei matto, non vorrei star, no. Ma che sei matto, sì, voglio andare, non mi seccare.
Do you think young people are enough educated for this kind of music? Are they coming at the concert?
I don't know. It's a very big topic. Music, opera, drama was born like a popular type of entertainment. Going to the opera 100 years ago was normal. People didn't have the television, had another television. So the cities were full of little opera houses. Of course, they have the important opera houses, La Scala, l'Opera di Roma, Torino. I think that people just have to go in the opera and open their art for this kind of show. It's not necessary to go in the school to have an university. Of course, for example, when you go in a museum, of course, if you are a professor or if you are a teacher, you can see a very beautiful painting, Caravaggio. You can realize all the details, all the techniques that he used. But even people that comes from normal life, that is not a professor of university, sees Caravaggio and he says, wow. I think that the art in general speaks in different ways.
I read in an article that you were trained first in acting. How come?
How come? I don't know. I was since I was a child. I was always attracted by this from the show. In every type of show, I was attracted by the opera, by the drama, by the circus, by the puppet show. And for me, it has something very magic to be able to reproduce some real life in a place. I think it's a miracle. I think the stage is the door or the window from the infinity. So behind the curtain, everything is possible. What in the real life is not possible. That's the magic.
When did you realize that you want to be a classical music singer and not an actor?
I don't know. I don't know because I always was attracted by opera more than the other. But I thought that it was so difficult to be an opera singer that it was impossible for me. But I always was like this when I was a child. When I wanted something, step by step, today or tomorrow or after tomorrow, I always had it.
Did you grow up in a musical family?
No.
The family? No?
No. That's why I think it was something like inside, no? I grew up with my parents and my grandma, and nobody they didn't hate it, but they didn't like it. So when I was in television, some operas, I was always so attracted. When I was in the church and I've heard chorus and organ, I was so attracted about it.
Si vita
you study conservatory?
I never study in a school, I always study private.
It's a funny thing, when I look at you, I say to myself, oh, he has some hours to work to do that. And
Of course, but who makes our job? It's never stop to study. My mind, it is always in this. From different types of stuff. During the day, I think about how to resolve a difficult passage of the voice, or I try to solve what a director asked me. It's not easy sometimes. It was an interpretation. He says, watch this movie, watch this actor, read this, and you try to read, to watch, to develop, to grow up the character.
how would you describe your voice?
I think that in my body we are two, me and my voice. I live with her, like maybe a pianist lives with the hands. My voice can be the chief of my life if she wants, but I never permit her to do it. For example, going around with scarf. Oh my God, don't drink a glass of wine, otherwise, because it can be very a prison. So we fight sometimes. Of course, when I'm healed, for example, and I have to go on the stage, I try to drive her in a way as she doesn't want. So, like a father or a mama, caress the child and please do it. That's the technique of the voice. Of course, everybody are able to sing when you are healthy, but when you don't feel good or when you are tired, you have to be very gentle with her, like the mom and papa are with the child. That's why I think that we live in this body.
You don't wear a scarf when it's 30 degrees outside and the sun is shining.
No, but even in the winter, of course, I don't go naked, but I don't want to be slave of my voice. She has to please my life. I do this job because I like it.
How do you see your career developing in the future?
I don't know, because in a way, my voice is not my chief, is not my boss, but in the same time, I have not to force them to do where she cannot go. I always said that I do this job because I love this job. The day that he will never please my life, I will be happy to leave it. For the moment, no. It's very beautiful.